Hey guys, Matt the Greeter, the Hanjo. Hey, just a quick follow-up. We didn't need to record right now, right? Nothing interesting going on. Anyway, it's really curvy street. I just got past the curvy spot, so hopefully the phone doesn't slide off the dashboard. Anyway, just a quick follow-up to my previous video about is it a good idea to get a second bike or not? And yeah, that's just a heat check. I just throwing that out there to get some feedback, just purely out of interest. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen really here. I am not in any kind of position to get a second bike. Just like to do a little bit of dreaming now and then. But yeah, some realities about the situation are, like, number one, we rent, and so we'll be finding another place to live at some point here. And so there's no guaranteeing any sort of storage situation. Rent prices it's absurd and astronomical here in the Boston area. I mean, it's just out of control. So there's no disposable income. So that's also a factor. The other factor here in Massachusetts is you have to register a bike and you have to insure it if you're going to have it on the street. So a second bike would, and this was like, people did respond to this right away, which I expected. And I'm actually glad to hear that other people are kind of thinking it through. But yeah, you got to do all that. So that's 2 registrations, 2 inspections, 2 insurance. That's 2 excise taxes. 2 sets of tires to keep fresh. 2 oil changes. Things like that, just your daily maintenance. Now, if I was loaded, right, not even a question. I'd have a second bike already, not even a question. But because of the situation we're in, and because of the fact that I don't want to, is it rude talking to you with my sunglasses on? Sorry about that. Yeah, I like to talk, if I'm talking to people, take the sunglasses off, and if they have theirs on, I'll keep mine on. Yeah, do you have yours on? All right. It's bright today. Yeah, sorry. Brought to you by ADHD. Also, when I'm driving, which, is it different than motovlogging? I don't know. Anyhow, what was I saying? Yeah. So anyhow, the actual reality, since I really, unless a steamroller or something backed over the Bug Smasher, I don't have any plans to offload that anytime soon. And if it got to the point where it was unrideable, well, then I'm taking it off the street, right? So I'm not renewing registration. I'm not paying insurance on it. It's going to get covered, drained, and just kind of maybe stored until I can do something with it, or somebody makes an offer. If it got to the point where it was unrideable, or I should say unfixable. And so I did reply to some friends and to some people that, the situation of not having a mechanic willing to work on the bike in a reasonable fashion, I guess, that's the biggest thing right here, aside from the financials, is that nobody here wants to work on a bike that's 10 years old or older, and mine's in 09, right? So we could do the math on that. And so my, Bug Smasher's a little long in the tooth. People don't want to work on it. The people that do want to work on it, I've seen some of these garages. They got cars scattered around the lot, no hood, bumpers laying on the ground in the rain. And even if, like, they treat bikes better than that, they keep bikes inside. Well, you know what? The outside really is an indication of the inside, right? So I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I also see the evidence. I see the fruit of how they treat things, and so I don't trust that situation. The other thing is, I've had some people, a couple of people who were willing initially to work on the bike, but they're over an hour away, and that's an hour to get there, drop it off, and leave. An hour back home, and then an hour to get dropped off. And we just, honestly, not to be melodramatic or dramatic, whatever. We just don't have that kind of time, because there goes a couple of days. You know, I got kids. I got a job that's, you know, a lot of days it's sort of split shift. So I get there early in the morning and I work till, you know, early afternoon, and then I got to go back at night. You know what I mean? So that's I don't have the flexible time that maybe other people may have. Now, most of you guys are working people, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there's that. Let's see if I can accelerate slow and not lose the phone here. Yeah, so is that all making sense? So the other follow-up thing here is, so if I got steamrolled with the Bug Smasher and it just wasn't repairable, I can't afford another Harley, right? And I talked about all the infotainment and all of that nonsense that I'm honestly just not into. I love the Janus motorcycle ethos, where everything is kind of simple and analog. And even if something's digital, I don't mind something being digital as long as it's analog-ish. You know what I'm saying? Slow turn here. Whoop, a little bit of slide in. You know what I'm saying? So, but at Janus, they're a real super high quality, or you know, they're hand built. They're expensive, and they deserve to be expensive because they're not made in a factory. And you know, the guy's got Amish people, right, making the saddlebags and things like that. I mean, these are bikes that are crafted by real people, which is why I was thinking about, I can't afford another Harley. I'm not going to get another big cruiser, likely, unless I start doing a lot of highway miles. I'll likely get a little ripper, something 650 cc, you know, something like that. You know, just something smaller and quieter. And then in the future, you know, maybe I could go back and get some kind of a, you know, big cruiser, you know, if I was doing more highway miles and things like that. Because you can't beat the sound and the feel of a Harley Davidson, especially an earlier one, you know. And I don't know anything about Milwaukee 8 and up. I just see things the size of like an iPad stuck to the front. Guys, I could not be less interested in anything like that. And like, you know, I mean, the stereotypes are still the same. You know, you got all these leather-clad, bearded, you know, whatever, which is totally fine, right? But I just like, man, I'm just trying to be more, I guess, engaging with the community. That's great if that's how you are and how you ride. Totally fine, you know. But in some cases, that limits the ability to connect with the outside community, I guess. And what I do is very community involved. And now, the same can be said, though, the opposite of the argument is that, you know, there's nothing like a big loud cruiser to draw attention and to bring people over for a conversation. So there's that side of the coin too. But likely we're not having our own house, so likely we're living around a lot of other people, and likely I'm waking every child and whatever up every time I leave early in the morning or get home late at night. And so out of consideration for the community abroad, or not abroad, but around me, you know, that's sort of my thinking there. Does that make sense? Anyhow, and you know, when you're fixing a Harley, parts cost. They cost what they cost. And you know, you buy something a little cheaper, you just, you know, it is what it is in this economy, right? And when you choose to have a job that like I choose to have, one of the sacrifices is you're just not going to get top shelf luxuries. And a Harley Davidson, I mean, in this economy is a luxury item, you know, unless you've already owned it. You know, you almost got to get something cheaper if you're using it as a daily. You know what I'm saying? You get something cheap and reliable as a daily, that's justified transportation. But you know, you're getting into Cadillac money here, and you don't, nobody needs a Cadillac except maybe a hearse. I don't know. That's not the way I hope to go, but anyhow, and maybe a hearse will back over the Bug Smasher, and then I'll shoot a new video and put out some questions, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, thanks for listening to this this driving spiel here, And I think we've managed to keep the phone on the dash, and maybe I didn't even press record, but whatever. Anyhow, I hope you guys are having a great day, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys soon. All right, Matt the Greeter, not in the Bug Smasher. We're in that heat wave right now, and plus I got laundry to do. I can't carry all that laundry on the Bug Smasher. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.